Tommy Farr challenges the legendary Brown Bomber for the heavyweight championship of the world. New York City, 30th of August, 1937.
First defence for Joe Louis of the heavyweight title he won 4 months ago here at the Yankee Stadium against Tommy Farr of Wales. Marvellous opportunity for the Welshman. Louis, we know, an explosive puncher, the one defeat on his record at the hands of Max Schmeling. Farr, 24 years old, but already with at least 150 professional fights behind him. Farr's got the reputation of being a real tough, bruising sort of fighter, and huge interest back in Britain, particularly in Wales. This fight being broadcast live by the BBC on the Light programme. And Farr starting well. Good body shot. Louis with slight height and reach advantage. Close first round. Farr certainly, though, giving a good account of himself. The fight scheduled to go 15, and not too much between them in the opening period. Farr certainly began with some confidence. Incredible to think Tommy Farr began as a professional at the age of 13. Good fast jab from Louis. More than 30,000 fans have turned up to watch this one. And Farr certainly not intimidated, prepared to mix it up with the champion. Tends to flick that left jab rather than throw it with real purpose, but when he gets inside, good hooks from Tommy Farr. And there's work in that corner. A cut has reopened on the cheek of Farr. Into round 3, they've staunched the blood. You can hear referee Arthur Donovan instructing them to let go, to break. Louis snapping that jab out, looking to increase the damage on Farr's face, and you can already see marking around the eyes of the Welshman. That's the danger shot from Farr, that right over the top. Louis takes it well. Again getting in close, Farr landing on the Brown Bomber with that right hand. Oh, good shot from Louis. Probably his best of the fight so far. Better round for the champion. And Farr looking a little bit weary as he went back to his corner. Well, Farr might have edged the first two. Louis, though, had a good third, working well behind that left jab, and for the first time unloading the powerhouse right hand. Tommy Farr from real fighting stock. His father was a bare knuckle fighter back home in Wales. Oh, good shots to the body again from Farr. Leaping in behind the jab, trying to soften up the champion around the midriff. And I tell you what, he's really giving Joe Louis a very good argument at the moment. Farr came into this contest virtually unheralded. And a close fourth round, and nice to see a touch of gloves as they go back to their corners. Due to go 15, here we go for the fifth. Surprising how often Farr's beaten Louis to the punch with that jab. Louis trying to spear the face of the Welshman, looking for that damaged cheek, cut on the cheekbone. Tommy Farr really came into world prominence with a victory over the former light heavyweight champion Tommy Loughran at the Albert Hall last year. And Louis just starting to enjoy a bit more success here, picking him off with that long left hand. A little bit of bruising around Louis's right eye. The heads go hammering in. And Louis probably doing enough to take the fifth. A lot of damage around the face now of Tommy Farr, but his corner have done a good job. Joe Churchill, his trainer, working away there. Oh, good shot from Farr. Louis takes it well, but he caught him pretty well flush with that left hand, and a good straight right as well. And you can hear the crowd starting to get behind the plucky Welshman. Would be a huge upset if Tommy Farr were to win this fight. But there's not too much in it at the moment, and Farr's having a good round. Louis a little bit lethargic. And Farr taking this period on sheer work rate. Of course, if it goes the distance, it goes to the two judges watching at ringside. Third judging performance being given by the referee. Oh, good work by Farr. He's providing a mobile target, ducking and weaving, bobbing around, and forcing Louis to punch down. And Louis not looking as effective then. And then Farr coming out of that crouch and landing very, very effectively with good hooks. That right into the head. Louis certainly felt that one. Good round to Tommy Farr, probably his best of the fight so far. Well, not too sure how the judges would be scoring this one, but certainly on my card, Tommy Farr very much in it, and that sixth might even just have him edging it at this point. Nearing the midway point of this contest, which has turned out to be an intriguing one. We've seen none of the real power shots for which Louis is renowned. Louis trying to double up with hooks and uppercuts behind that left jab, but Farr saw it coming, slipped inside, landed good shots to the body. All that conditioning and strength of Farr, born out of a lifetime almost of fighting, is serving him well. Oh, that's good hand speed from the champion, and Louis starting to open up. A flurry of half a dozen punches, and he really now thinks that he can nail Farr. Another good left hand from Louis. But hats off to the Welshman, he took those bombs well. and getting inside now and preventing Lewis teeing him off, stopping him getting real leverage and power on his punches. Oh, good body shot from Lewis. You can hear that thud into the midriff of Farr. Well, if the sixth belonged to Tommy Farr, status quo has resumed here. Good round to Joe Louis. Into the second half of the fight. Many people thought it would be over by now. Farr, though, came into this fight with good credentials, having outpointed Ben Ford and Max Baer, and also knocked out Walter Neusel. All those fights in Haringey this year. Lewis clearly looking to try and tee Farr off now and unleash that big right hand. But Farr keeping him busy. Oh, good shot! Great left hand from Tommy Farr, and just for a moment there was just a hint of Lewis's legs buckling. And Farr knows it. He's really going to work on Lewis now. It was all about that superb left hand. Lewis has ridden out the storm, I think. And there's blood coming from the left eye of Tommy Farr. But that left hand showed that Lewis can be hurt. Well, Lewis congratulated by Farr as he makes his way back to the corner, but that was Farr's round. Ninth round, score it as you see it, but it has to be close, and Farr is still very much in it. Lewis really needs to try and snap that left jab a bit more. Farr coming bulldozing forward. He's taking shots to the face as he does so. It's now a reddened mask. Lewis really hasn't come to terms with the swarming, brawling style of Farr, who gets more success with a great right hand. The crowd have really taken to him. And is the title about to change hands again? Close round again. Lewis needs to impose himself in the closing rounds to make absolutely sure. Farr, such a battler. Plenty of old stars at ringside, Jack Johnson among them. Gene Tunney and James Braddock also in the ringside seats. Good work from Farr, right over the top and following up well with a solid left hook into the jaw of the champion. That's better from Lewis. Lewis's right eye swelling underneath, not affecting his vision so far. Good combination from Lewis. And Farr, who's battled so bravely, had to hold on. Into the 11th. Farr maybe just starting to feel the pace. Farr's bravely coming forward, but Lewis tying him up with more ease than earlier. And that left jab of the champion is starting to become a repetitive scoring weapon. Again, Farr getting the cheers of the crowd as he comes in, but as he did so, he was speared by a very solid left jab. Good right hand. Farr's been very busy in the build-up to this fight. It's his 4th contest of the year. That fitness is serving him well, but you just get the impression that maybe the tide's turned here, although Farr coming bulldozing in once again, working away to the body. It was eye-catching stuff, but no great power in those shots now. Starting to look increasingly as though it's going to go the distance. Quiet around this one. Two fighters principally content to work behind their jab. Farr maybe landing the more punches, but still just get the impression that the greater power and authority is now lying with the champion, and that's a good right hand from Lewis. Farr's great ring craft carrying him through. Farr trying to get inside, trying to work away to the body all the time. The points piling up for Lewis. Again, the cheers of the crowd, but that was more of a slap than anything. And Lewis takes that round on my card. So just 3 rounds to go. First defence for Lewis at the Yankee Stadium. Is it going to be a successful one? Farr's work rate and pace has noticeably dropped. Though having said that, it really has not been a classic performance from Lewis. He's found Tommy Farr very, very difficult to get to. Lewis content to just work away to the head, trying to increase the damage on Farr's face, which really is an awful mess now. Farr leaping in, but there's a look of desperation about his work. That left lead of Farr now, more of a pouring motion than a real punch. And 4 good snapping jabs from Lewis, followed by the right cross, and there's not too much coming back from the Welshman. Better right hand from Farr, trying to turn it into a brawl, but smart work from Lewis, turning him off the ropes, and that's another round to the champion. Two rounds to go. Lewis has clearly turned this round in the closing stages. No questioning Tommy Farr's bravery, but over the last 3 or 4 rounds he's been outboxed. Right hand only just off target from Farr, but it was off target and he was made to pay. Lewis just clipping him as he came through, and then starting to work away behind the jab once more. Oh, good right hand from Lewis. Joe Louis hasn't really captured public imagination in the States so far. And noticeably every attack, the cheers tend to come for Farr rather than Lewis. But Lewis now beginning to look in command. Again, no more than a lunge from Farr. Lewis probably told by his corner now that he is ahead in this fight, and that's in all probability another round for the champion, the Brown Bomber. Not too many people would have bet money that this fight would have gone 15 rounds, but it has. And a good touch of sportsmanship. Referee Arthur Donovan inviting them to touch gloves, which they do. And Farr probably knows that he has to knock Joe Louis out if he's going to take this now. And in all honesty, it doesn't look as though he's got the power left in his punches to do so. Bravely still coming, ploughing forward, and that's a good left to the body. Judges at ringside, William McParlin and Charles Lynch. The third judge, the referee Arthur Donovan. And it's all a question of how they score it if it goes to the final bell. Farr knows that this is the opportunity of a lifetime. He's given Joe Louis a terrific fight here tonight, and he's finishing it, as he's been for much of the contest, as the aggressor. Louis picking him off with that jab and then working well, doubling up his punches well off the left hand. Farr has to throw all caution to the wind. As heavyweights, one punch, that's all it takes, and Farr knows it. And what a superb fight that turned out to be. Tommy Farr trying to get some words of consolation, perhaps confirmation that he's won from the referee, but I don't think so. It's going to the judges' scorecards. The Louis corner think that they've got it, and here's confirmation.
The winner and still champion, Louis.
Well, the big crowd doesn't like it, But Joe Louis successfully a first defence of the world heavyweight title, but what a brave battle from Tommy Farr of Wales. Joe Louis is still champion of the world.
Continuing his campaign stateside, Farr faces the former world champion, James J. Braddock. New York City, 21st of January, 1938.
A 10-rounder. These two fine heavyweights. Braddock weighing 199.5. Tommy Farr, 207 pounds. A crowd of 17,369 on hand. And Tommy Farr is the favorite at ring time, 13-5. The referee is Johnny McAvoy. This is the first and only time these two men have met. Tommy Farr on the right, Jim Braddock at the left. Braddock the taller of the two. Jim Braddock managed by Joe Gould. Tommy Farr managed by Ted Broadrib. Farr out of Tony Pandy, South Wales, the British Isles. Jim Braddock in the far corner. Round two. Braddock has had a total of 83 professional fights. Having scored 26 knockouts, he won 26 decisions, he drew 3 times, lost 19 decisions, was stopped twice, appeared in 5 no-decision bouts, and in 2 no-contest affairs. He's a former world's heavyweight champion. Jim Braddock achieved one of the ring's great upsets in June of 1935, when as a 10-1 underdog, he won a 15-round decision from Max Baer. That's the end of round 2. Jim Braddock then lost the world's title to Joe Louis, being knocked out in the 8th round. In Lewis's first defense of his crown, he fought Tommy Farr, and Farr extended Joe Louis to the utmost. They fought 15 rounds, with Joe Louis getting the decision. Jim Braddock has a snapping left hand. He uses it as a hook and as a jab. A ring-wise veteran, Tommy Farr with tremendous strength. Hits well with either hand, and he likes to hit to the body. Johnny McAvoy breaks the 2 men. Tommy Farr is 24 years old at this time, weighing 207 pounds. As the fight moves along, Jim Braddock has a slight lead in points. Tommy Farr bruising in now on Jim Braddock. Farr, the durable Welshman, with the good left hand and a solid body puncher. Jim Braddock, ring-wise, a veteran, knows just about all there is to know about prize fighting. Straight left jab by Jim Braddock, a good one. Braddock, known as the Cinderella Man for his great comeback. Good right cross by Jim Braddock, and Farr backs off, and Braddock takes advantage. Moves in on Tommy Farr. Farr tried to spin him into the ropes, and now they separate. That's the end of the 4th round. Tommy Farr going to his corner. Round 5 of this 10-rounder at Madison Square Garden. 2 of the world's outstanding heavyweights in action. Jim Braddock on the right and Tommy Farr. Tommy Farr hooking to the body. And Johnny McAvoy has to separate them again. Jim Braddock with that straight left jab. Braddock again with the left jab, and again with the right cross. Straight left jab once again by Braddock, keeping Tommy Farr off balance and hurting Farr as well. Farr the favorite. Farr bullying in now with lefts and rights to the body. Tommy Farr charging in on Jim Braddock. Farr has had a total of 80 pro bouts at the time of this Braddock fight. Having scored 17 knockouts, he won 39 decisions, drew in 11 fights, lost 12 decisions, and he's been stopped once. Jim Braddock now switches his attack to the body as well. Tommy Farr belaboring Jim Braddock. In Jim Braddock's corner. At the bell, and all Jim has to do is sit down. Now they come out for round 7. Round 7 of the scheduled 10-rounder. It's been a very even bout to this point. Braddock had the edge in the opening rounds. Tommy Farr in the middle rounds. A well-matched contest. Braddock missing with that right cross. A right cross by Farr again, and Jimmy Braddock is forced to hold on for the moment. These are two well-seasoned, well-conditioned athletes. Tommy Farr, the younger of the two. Jim Braddock is now 32 years of age. But he's kept himself in wonderful condition. Braddock again backed into his own corner by Tommy Farr at the bell, and once more, Farr has to take the long walk while Braddock just sits down. Round 8 in the scheduled 10-rounder. Braddock and Farr, well-seasoned athletes, solid professional fighters. Braddock, the former world's heavyweight champion. Tommy Farr, who came close to taking it from Joe Louis. Braddock has met some of the outstanding fighters of the heavyweight division of all time. Tuffy Griffiths, Pete Latzo, Jim Slattery, Maxie Rosenblum, Ernie Schaff, Al Stillman, and Joe Louis. Tommy Farr still going for the midsection of Jim Braddock. Tommy Farr seems to have Braddock in trouble now. Farr coming on strongly, shifting his attack to the head at the end of the round. Unquestionably, Tommy Farr's best round to date, the 8th round a moment ago. Now for the 9th round. And Jim Braddock seemed slow and tired getting out of his corner for the 9th. Tommy Farr seems full of fire. If there is any edge thus far in the bout, it has to be a slight one. Chopping right hand by Farr may have hurt Jim Braddock then. Braddock holding on. And again, they're separated by referee Johnny McAvoy. The judges are Charlie Lynch and George Lecron. They exchange left hands. A right cross by Braddock. A right uppercut by Braddock was good. Jim Braddock, tired, holding on against Tommy Farr. Farr, the younger of the two, being pushed against the ropes by Jim Braddock. This is round 9 of a scheduled 10-rounder. Braddock wailing away with both hands, and Farr fighting back off the ropes. And again, the round ends with Braddock in his own corner. The final round. They touch gloves. Jim Braddock and Tommy Farr. The fight's still as close as ever. Tommy Farr still boring into the body. Jim Braddock meeting him with lefts and rights to the head. Braddock with a good right cross. Farr again boring in. They exchange left hands. Jim Braddock with lefts and rights to the head. Braddock following up on Tommy Farr against the ropes. Braddock seems to have renewed strength here in the 10th round. It's Braddock on the right, Farr on the left. Left hook by Braddock, left jab by Farr. They exchange lefts. A good right cross by Braddock. Jim Braddock and Tommy Farr wailing away at the bell, ending this grueling 10-rounder at Madison Square Garden. And now we must wait the decision of the judges. And there's Harry Balor with the announcement. And the winner is Jim Braddock. Referee McAvoy voted for Braddock 4 rounds to 3 with 3 even. Lecron called it 6-4 for Braddock, and Lynch had Farr the winner 6 rounds to 4. On a split decision, Jim Braddock defeats Tommy Farr in a fine heavyweight scrap at Madison Square Garden.
After losing to Clarence Red Berman in America, Farr meets the world number 5 in a rematch 3 months later. London, 13th of April, 1939.
With President Roosevelt's son at the ringside, Tommy Farr comes back from America with the scars and honors of battle, but no victories. So it's literally the fight of his life. The first stage of his comeback against the man who beat him on the other side only a few months ago. And from the opening seconds of the first round, there's never any doubt as to how seriously Tommy is taking it. Tommy is nearest the camera now, and through the rapidly changing positions of these pictures, you can tell him by his wide shoulders and broad back. Through the first round, Tommy sets the pace to prove he hasn't forgotten those mighty jabbing lefts that took him up before and may do so again. But in the next few rounds, Berman proves that it isn't going all Tommy's way. The red-headed youngster from America fizzes round the ring at such lightning speed, he shows that for a championship contender, Tommy is slow. But Tommy still has that hammer blow left, and when it connects, it almost staggers Berman every time. And as Berman retreats, Tommy gets him up against the ropes. In fact, about the middle of the fight, the Welsh boy is battering so hard with both hands that if he were a little faster and a little fitter, he might have finished it halfway. In the 5th round, Berman's seconds start kicking up a din, and the ref stops the fight to warn them that in this country such things ain't allowed. But Berman is a long way from being beaten yet. He comes back into each new round superbly recovered, and Tommy has to fall back on his left to keep the American out of range. Then in the 6th round, Berman sags. He almost staggers against the ropes, and the crowd is howling for a knockout. Still, Tommy is on top, and there isn't a doubt which way the fight is going now. And through the 7th round, Berman is still fighting with his back on the ropes. And then the fight moves to its amazing climax. With a tremendous effort, Red Berman steps right back into the middle of the picture. With a series of mighty punches, he comes up level with Tommy and actually wins the 11th round. But Tommy is in no mood to be beaten at the post, and here comes his final effort in the last few seconds of the match. As the gong goes, Berman puts his arm round his opponent, but Tommy breaks away to find out immediately which way this fight of his life has gone. And it doesn't take him long to find out. So Tommy Farr takes his first step towards his comeback, and Wales is happy.